the Niners come roaring back and win at home to forge their way into the Super Bowl, as they have 2 previous times this 21st century, if you will. Niners thrilled. You see the numbers. And afterwards, Dan Graziano with, here we go, Niners, Nick Bosa.
All right, well, my first question is, who talked at halftime and what the heck did they say?
I actually talked a little bit. I'm not a big talker, but I just said, do your job. Do your job. When you break down one guy, they get 10 yards a pop. Just do your job, everybody, and play the best second half we can.
So what did you feel was the turning point in the third quarter when you guys really got going?
I think when they went on 4th down here and we got a little pressure and a stop, that's all you need. Just get off the field and get our offense rolling.
Yeah, and the offense.
All right, Dan, good job, Nick Bosa. He said, well, we'll get back to that in a minute. Look, the first half, all right, I know we're going back a little way.
Yeah.
The Lions were manhandling the 49ers, and I never thought I would say that about really any team. You could beat the Niners, but you don't manhandle them. What changed?
Boom. What changed was, the Lions were controlling the football game.
Yes.
It's 24-10. They got 4th down. They have an opportunity to kick a field goal and go up 3 scores. But for whatever reason, Dan Campbell said, you know what? I want to roll the dice. I want to go for it. The game changed right here. Boom. You heard Bosa reference this. Reynolds drops the football. When Reynolds drops the ball, the 49ers go down, they score. It's Purdy to Ayuk. Now the momentum is starting to come downhill. The very next sequence, boom, Gibbs fumbles the football. Okay? Forced fumble, 49ers recover. Now McCaffrey scores the touchdown. All the momentum is now with the 49ers. It's 24-24, boom. Guess what? They have an opportunity right here at 27-24, the Lions do, to go for a field goal and tie the football game. They turned it down. I thought Dan Campbell got out-coached severely in the second half. And I truly understand Dan Campbell loves to go for it on 4th down. But at some point, you have to understand how your team is playing and understand what's going on. And the momentum was clearly with the 49ers. And twice, Dan Campbell decided to not go for field goals and go for it, and then backfired on his team. You heard Nick Bosa after the game. What turned the game around? When they went for it on 4th down and you didn't make it. And I get it. Everybody's going to talk about analytics, and I truly understand that. But at some time, you have to play the game that day and understand how your team is playing. That's when the game turns.
Well, interesting, and we're going there first, is right at the end of the half, a decision to maybe go for it. They were, at the 2 or something?
Yes.
But let's kick the field goal because up 14, now up 17, that's 3 scores. So he did it then. When it doesn't work, you're always, quote, a fool. That's how they lived all year. That's how they more often than not succeeded. But let's go to San Francisco, all right? So defensively, we'll get back to them in a little bit. First half, offensively, Niners kind of in a quandary, a little bit like the Green Bay game. So Brock Purdy, we know his percentage of throws. We know, he's a much better on-time passer than anyone gives him credit for. He's a pretty good runner, isn't he?
Well, here's the thing, Boom. They were starting to get to him back there, and guys weren't coming open. And I didn't know if we were watching Michael Vick or Brock Purdy, because he used his legs in the second half. And you often hear us talk about pocket mobility and mobile quarterbacks. It isn't always talking about the quarterback that can run 4-3. It's about the elusiveness in the pocket. Can you keep plays alive? Can you extend drives and get first down? I thought Brock Purdy was masterful. He had -1 yards rushing in the first half. He had 5 carries for 49 yards in the second half. Boom, time and time again. You thought the Lions pass rush was going to get there, and Brock Purdy used his legs to extend drives and get first down. This was a masterclass, and he's often labeled, he's just a game manager. He's just a product of the system. He made plays today, Boom. When they needed him the most in the NFC title game, Brock Purdy made plays above and beyond the Kyle Shanahan system. So I don't want anybody else to talk about Brock Purdy. It's just a game manager. He's a playmaker, and he made plays all in that second half.
Yes, he did. More to discuss, but Dan Campbell at the podium now. Let's listen in.
Give those guys, a lot of credit. We knew they wouldn't go away, and they made the plays today. Coach Shanahan's a hell of a coach. That's a team that they've done it, they lived it, and they made the plays. So credit to them. I'm really proud of all these guys. I am. I mean, and it's hard when you lose that way. It's hard. You know, you feel like you get your heart ripped out. So, but I'm proud of that group, and I'll go anywhere with that group. And you wish you could keep it all together, but that's not the reality. So, you know, we did some really good things, but today we didn't do enough, and it's tough. It's questions.
Well, and of course he's classy. Give San Francisco
of course,
credit.
yes,
First half, Detroit ran for, I didn't write it, I think it was like 168.
Took them a while to get back to that. And we kept wondering.
I was surprised.
We were sitting there saying, well, now that the momentum is with the 49ers, if you're Detroit, what are you going to go back to? How about go back to that little crack toss and run the football? We've seen success on that play. It took them forever to get back to what was being successful in the first half. I thought that was another subtle difference in the second half. If you ran the football against the 49er team, why stop? Don't allow yourself to get into this habit of we got to throw and we got to continue to throw, because that played right into the 49ers' hands. You saw Bosa get a couple of sacks, and the pressure started to mount. And the momentum is a real thing.
Yes.
The momentum in the second half was going downhill against the Lions and their coaching staff, nor could that team do anything to quell that.
We'll talk about the history of it, but down 17, record will show that you won the championship game when it looked really pretty shaky. The Niners are going to the Super Bowl.